What is up? Welcome to Psychic Renegade Tarot. I want to do a pick a card today. I decided the topic is going to be, what is your special kind of genius? So we all have different IQ levels, we all have different strengths and talents and all that, but I do think we all have our own like unique genius. So it might not be something modern society equates as genius, but like basically what are your what's your special knowledge? What makes you uniquely gifted? In other words, please ignore my sad nails. Something happened to these two. I don't know. They looked cute like yesterday before I broke them. But anyway, that's me being a Sagittarius. I try to be girly and then I just break my nails. So anyway, we're going to do 5 piles. We're going to do Angel Phantom Quartz, Indigo Kyanite, Citrine Quartz. Sorry, this is pile 1, 2, 3. 4 is Howlite Tower, and 5 is Ocean Jasper. So go ahead and take a second. However you decide on the cards, you can do that. I will timestamp below so you can skip ahead to your pile. Oh, one more thing. I want to catch up on summer giveaways. So I have a couple giveaways for loyalty and subscriber comments. I'm going to give a free reading to Imani Love, Cheenique Tarot, and ESD. If you hear your name and you see this video, please contact me. You can email me, or if you're following me on Instagram, you can DM me there too. But yes, I owe you a 15 to 20 minute free reading for being a loyal subscriber. You're the names that I pulled for the summer catch up. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting my channel. Just get in touch with me and we'll set that up. And for everyone else, I hope you enjoy this reading. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all those good things. And if you also want not a free reading, I mean, well, you can comment on this video and I'll enter you for a free reading for October. But if you want a personal reading, you can get in touch with me as well. Email is the best way. I will respond to DMs too. As long as you have a picture with your Instagram and you're not. I don't really respond to robots. I added a candle and I was gonna say, I don't really respond to bot accounts. So if you have no picture over your profile and you try to message me on Instagram, I probably won't respond. So just know that. Just put a little picture up there, even if it's like a flower. And then I'll respond to you. Otherwise, email is a good option. So let's get started. Let's do, so pile 1, Angel Phantom Quartz. Angel Phantom Quartz is used for a connection to your angels, higher self, and the angelic realms. So it's supposed to boost communication. Okay, sorry pile 1, kept getting interrupted. So yeah, it's good for communication, specifically with the angelic realm. So I mixed a bunch of my decks today and oracles. We are going to get into a little bit of everything. So I have 2 tarot decks and 2 oracle decks, which are listed in my description box. So, how was I gonna do this? I did have a rhyme or reason to this. Hold on. Let me do these ones. I like to do my oracles second because they're gonna kind of fine tune what I'm talking about. Okay. Ooh, the Lovers. Okay. So your special kind of genius has something to do with your heart chakra. Definitely something to do with, I feel like your aura and your essence. You're a very loving human being. And this is your superpower. A lot of people take emotions and vulnerability as a weakness. You see this as a strength and you own this as a strength. You might even be developing it. So you have a way of, with the 7 of Swords here, you have a way of being very cunning. I think you have a way of, okay, so you're very forceful with emotions to the point where people can feel manipulated. So I'm not seeing this as something you do intentionally, or if you do know that you have the power to do this, you try not to do this intentionally because you know you're very good at it. So you have a way of kind of holding all your cards. So it's like you can show the world what you want and make them feel a certain way, but you don't let it, it's like you always have your armor up, so you don't quite let them in the same way. I don't know, you've like fine-tuned a way of guarding your heart that allows you to love more and deeper, because you always kind of have this shield up, is how I'm feeling it, of where you don't let people penetrate past a certain level of like your comfort or your emotions. So you also just might be a very good liar. Not, you know, like that can be a skill. It can be a survival skill. So I see this as like, you can talk your way out of anything. If you needed to, you can. You pair, it's like your tongue and your presence, your loving presence with your charming tongue is a very convincing combination, and you know how to wield that. So you might use this as a way to get through life. With the Page of Wands here, yeah, this is an explorative, passionate energy, and I was just saying you use this to navigate through life. So it's definitely, your strength. So you have a charm about you that is your strength, and I don't want this to come off the wrong way. Like, this is not a manipulation thing. This is your God-given talent. Like, this was given to you for a purpose. Yes, you can use it in a dark way if you chose to, but fine-tuning this is going to help you stay out of harm, own your gifts, and this is your way of giving back to the world. Maybe I don't know, it's like a way of showing people that you can be caring and compassionate but still have boundaries. It's like playing that game of being there for people but also holding your own boundaries. So you might just be naturally creative as well. You could be very good at drawing, and also you might have a natural green thumb. If you're into occult or any kind of manipulation of energy, you might be really good at candle magic. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. So this to me goes with the Lovers. This goes back to this energy. You're just, you have a way of exuding a very warm, inviting kind of vibe. So people will definitely feel loved, nurtured, comforted, and cared for in your presence. Like a warm fire. Like, it attracts people that just need to rest. It attracts people that need that touch of comfort. So that's the kind of energy you carry around, is very giving, very loving. You might kind of take care of your circle too, like the people around you, your family, your friends, your coworkers, your colleagues. You might get accused of being like mama bear energy or papa bear, or, sorry, I shouldn't gender it. I'm trying to think of you just have like a parental kind of vibe to you. But it doesn't come off as like controlling or domineering. It comes off as like the last friend at the end of the night that asks if you have a ride home kind of thing, or somebody notices that you're skipping a meal at lunch and so they offer you half of theirs, like that kind of thing. Like, you're that person in people's lives. Ace of Wands. So with the Seven of Swords here, yeah, you're very cunning in a skilled way. So you might not be the smartest person. You might not be the best at technology. You might not be the most well-read. You might not be the most educated. Like, you might feel average in some of your other skills or knowledge levels, but you lean on this ability, you lean on this charisma, this charm, this like sixth sense you have to wield your way through life and to get the things you want. So it's like you kind of play a game where you don't even have to play by normal rules. You get around it. With the Ace of Wands, it's like you get around it. Whether this is like you manifest things that you want and people can't quite figure out how, or you get jobs you're not qualified for, or you get opportunities people don't think you deserve, or you get out of situations that other people would get hung up in. So it's like you rely on this talent to maneuver through difficult situations or to get things you want. And so it's you've realized it, even on a subconscious level. If you haven't realized this outright, you know that you have kind of a charm to you, and you're going to discover that even more so. But you're realizing that this is your gift, and how you make people feel is a huge superpower. Like, they don't always remember the words you say, they don't always remember the things you do, but people remember how you make them feel. So you know this. You realize that this is a talent of yours, and you definitely use it, and that's okay. Everybody has that like survival skill, or the thing that they can lean on to make a money and provide for themselves, to get out of bad situations, to maneuver through life. Like, you're given these skills to get by, and that's how you've chosen to use it. I'm not seeing this in a deceptive sense. I'm seeing this as in a smart sense. Like, you're kind of a MacGyver. Like, you use what you have, and you're okay with that. Like, you don't try to fit into pretty little clear-cut boxes. You kind of like to draw outside the lines a little bit, and I think that's your specialty. 9 of Pentacles. So I said earlier you might have a green thumb. I'm getting this again. You might be very good at gardening. You might be into green magic, earth magic, or kitchen magic of some kind. I feel like it's like another sixth sense you have. I feel like nature responds to your touch, and that is with plants and animals, and you commune very closely with nature. So I feel like you just get it or pick it up. Plants seem to really like to be in your presence, and so do animals. So this you can use to your advantage as well. Obviously, like, having a healthy, vibrant garden is lovely and very beneficial to your health. Having animals around you is beneficial to your health as well. As also, these could be spirit guides. So then it might not be pets. They could be just animals you see out in nature respond to you. So this is what I'm seeing, group 1. It's definitely like your aura, like your essence is very loving to a charming extent. So it's not just, it's your mind too. You have a sharp mind, but it's not in like a Montessori kind of way. It's not in a like book smart kind of way. Not that you're not read, or not that you haven't read books, but it's more in a, you're very good at sensing people, and that's how you navigate the world. You sense your way through life. So you might be a clairsentient or an empath. Okay, so your special talents are dance and fog veiled. So it's further into what I was saying, but you might be very good at dance, or you might use this to cultivate your joy into your manifestation power, but you're just very good at movement, and you might be a natural dancer. This is a way you might connect with people. So you might like to dance with your friends. You might be a professional dancer. You might just like to dance around your life and be silly. You like to move your body, and that's a natural way that you cultivate this energy within yourself. So keep doing that. Keep dancing. It might also be part of your calling if you're very drawn to dance, we're just celebrations. So you're very good at getting people going, getting people excited, getting people to let their guards down and just have fun. You're the life of the party for sure. With the fog here, it's like I said earlier, where you hold all your cards to your chest. So you show the world what you want to see. You always have this layer to you that's a little hidden, that's a little mysterious. You'll peek and show what you want at times, but you have a boundary, and it's one you've learned to put in place to guard yourself, because you might have been too giving with this energy at some point and gotten burned. So you've learned to set that boundary. But it's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful thing, and it's an energy you're harnessing. So you might be very good at helping people sort through issues and helping them see through the fog in their own life, but you always have that boundary with yourself and the outside world. So you could also be some kind of spiritualist, or somebody who works with energy in some way. You might have learned that you need this veil as a protection. So I don't see this as like a manipulation thing or even a greedy thing, like you want your own power to yourself. It's more of a necessity. Maybe you've learned that certain people just can't handle certain things, or whatever it is, you don't want to give them that place. And so let's move on. Soulmates, you might be a matchmaker or just very good at cultivating friendships and love. Time to go and fork in the road. So one of your natural abilities might be to help people with relationships, help people set those boundaries themselves, help people find soulmate connections and recognize unhealthy ones. With the time to go here, you're, like I said, you're good with setting boundaries. You don't want to waste this energy on the wrong people or people that would just suck you dry. You want it to be a benefit. So you are careful in who you give it to in that sense. And fork in the road, I see this as it pairs with the fog. I think part of your mission is helping people see through their own setbacks, see through their own blocks, and see through their own unhealthy patterns that are maybe keeping them in a state of depression or blocking their joy. Like your superpower is joy, I think, and you're very good at recognizing what can steal that from someone. So you're good at helping other people guard themselves as well. You might even do this like while traveling. Like you might even meet random strangers who open up to you about their life. You have a natural kind of counseling vibe, so people might come to you with their problems, and you have a very natural way of helping them work through it. It's very loving. This is really awesome. So I can see that you are very smart, and you might be book smart as well, but your natural gifts is all about your energy. It's about your essence. You do use your brain with the Seven of Swords here. Like you are very cunning as well, but not in a bad way. You've had to learn to be this way. You've had to learn to kind of harness this power in a healthy way for yourself, so it doesn't drain you or hurt you, but you're able to give more. So yeah, I think that's all I'm seeing for you, Pile 1. That's really awesome. This is really soothing energy. This whole reading has been lovely. Yeah, it's just really nice. I've really enjoyed it. So let me know if that resonates for you. Drop a comment down below, like this video. And thank you for watching. I'm going to move on to Pile 2. Okay, Pile 2. If you chose Indigo Kyanite, this is your pile. We're going to look into what is your special kind of genius, what makes you rare, what makes you different. How are you wise in your own way or smart in your own way, not just however society might qualify that. But let's look into what are your real gifts and how are you especially wise. So Indigo Kyanite, you might be attracted to this crystal if you're into astral travel and chakra balancing as well. So let's get into this. I'm using 2 oracle decks and 2 tarot decks. They're listed in the description box. The Emperor. So you're definitely a leader, pile 2. You might have Taurus or Aries in your chart, or a strong Mars placement. I feel like you think and contemplate life, you contemplate the meaning of life, you contemplate higher dimensions and things. You might be read up on different religion, different cultures. You definitely study and contemplate, so you don't draw your conclusions or anything you believe off of nothing. You always have some kind of facts behind your reasonings, even if those are like internal facts. The Hanged Man. It's another seeking card. So you might be an introvert or really enjoy your time to yourself to pull back and to hone your own power. You might need time every day to recharge, or just frequently. You might go out in nature to recharge or something like that. You might currently be going through a significant ascension or awakening process here, because I'm seeing the pumpkins. So this feels very, this can be a timeless reading, but if you're watching it October 2020, it feels current. So 9 of Cups. This again feels very independent and driven to me with the Emperor. So you're definitely wise beyond your years. You might be farther along in your career or education or life, or you might have crossed some milestones earlier than people around you. I think you enjoy being an innovator. You enjoy being ahead of the pack. You enjoy being in the lead, as you say. I'm getting something off the felines here. So you might resonate with feline energy. You might have cats, or you might have a spirit guide that appears to you as a cat. Or you might resonate with a feline energy like lion, panther, tiger. You might feel like your energy resonates more with those species. Again, which is very fierce, independent, goes your own way kind of thing. So you definitely have this side to you that is like calm and quiet, but nobody would want to mess with you. King of Wands. I feel like you're a little stubborn and hard to change your opinion. He's looking the same way in both these cards here. So it's like once you get your mind to something, that's that, and you're pretty decided on it. So you don't form your opinions lightly, and you don't change them lightly. You might have a lot of earth in your chart. I also see fire and water. But really, these could be any signs. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. You might have a little bit of an anger issue. And you're learning to harness this in a good way. You're learning to direct it towards something positive, and not just have it outbursts. So you might have to do a lot of physical activity to channel this anger, or you might have had to in the past. But you're learning to fuel the energy. You're learning to harness it as fuel and not let it combust and into outbursts. So the Hermit here too. This energy with the Hanged Man is also contemplative. So I feel like you're very spiritual. This is one of your strengths. One of your geniuses, what makes you a special genius is you're open-minded. So you might be stubborn, but that's because you're open-minded. Like you go over all the facts, you consider every opinion, you look at all sides. So you're very open. You're open to different knowledge, you're open to different ideas, but you don't formulate those opinions or ideas lightly. So you're kind of stubborn, but also open-minded at the same time, if that makes sense. Page of Pentacles. You're also very generous. You might give to people around you. You might like to share this knowledge. You might like to reteach what you learn. You might be the oldest in your siblings, or I feel this like bigger brother, big sister kind of vibe. Like you like to look out for people around you, under you, beneath you, or behind you. Like, not beneath you or behind you, but like you look back at where you've come from. So you're not the kind of person that likes to step on other people to get where you're going. Instead, you actually like to turn around and honor people that are where you used to be. So you might have come from very honest means. You might come from low income. You might have actually been homeless at some point. So you actually enjoy helping those people out. You enjoy giving back. You enjoy helping out people that are in the same place that you used to be in. You could have even grown up in the system or foster care or something like this. I'm feeling like you came out of a situation and you like to turn around and help people that are still in that situation. This could be addiction, this could be poverty, this could be a lot of different things. So that's cool. It's like you use the strength that you've acquired, you use it to help other people. Treasure Islands. Yeah, it's like you've accumulated this passion and this drive in yourself, and you like to help people do the same. So I feel like you overcome a lot in your life, and you're a very strong person, and you like to show other people how to overcome their obstacles as well. No place like home. You like to make people feel included. You might not have had a good home life, so it's like it's something you want to cultivate. You want to be that place for people. You want them to feel welcome, and you're always searching for this. So I think something that makes you a genius, it's like you realize the importance of it. You realize the importance of that feeling, that comfort of knowing you belong somewhere, knowing you are always welcome somewhere. So you like to cultivate that energy around you by being very giving and loving. So you kind of have an open door kind of policy. So you'll always care for someone if they need it. You'll always give them a meal if they need it, that kind of thing. You always want people to know that someone has them if they need. Message in a bottle. You might be a little more sentimental than the rest. You might have Cancer somewhere in your chart. I feel like you're very good at reaching out to people when it's been a couple years, or it's been a distance, or you haven't seen each other for a while, or you might not even know each other. So you have a way of connecting to people and reconnecting to people and smoothing over issues. Like you have a way of being kind of the glue in your relationships and other people's relationships. You kind of help people mend those relationships and just make sure that, I don't know, I feel like every relationship needs work. Every romantic relationship, friendship, anything, you always have to put effort into it at some point, or it just dissolves eventually, right? So if you never spend time together, if you never communicate, if you never problem solve, if you never do anything, then there's nothing there. So you're good at building relationships with people. This is one of your strengths. Building community, building network, letting people feel like they can come to you. So New moon, promise, and lightning power. You might be very good at natural energy. So I feel like you're very good at harnessing natural energy with the King of Wands and lightning power and the Emperor and the Hermit here and the Hanged Man. This is very creatively woke energy. So you go to those deep dark spaces where you just like go into your creative genius, and you might be very good at manifesting when you're in that space. In general, you have a power to you that you have cultivated throughout the years, and you know how to use it. You're learning how to harness this. Like, you're a king and an emperor, so you're definitely an old soul, and you're definitely put a lot of years into this study. So I don't feel like you're a new spiritualist. I feel like you've been interested in these subjects for quite a while, and you've been learning and digging and exploring for probably years. With the new moon, there's something fated. There's something fated in you that you're meant to accomplish in this life, and you feel it. You're on a trajectory, so you might have short little hiccups or this or that, but you always come back to the promise. So it's like you know what's coming for you and what's been promised from the divine. So that's what you hold on to. With this treasure island, no place like home, a message in a bottle, I feel like it has something to do with the family that you've always wanted and cultivating that. So this is confirmation. If you don't currently have the family you've always wanted, Spirit is helping you cultivate the relationships and the skills necessary to get that and keep that. So you will get the family you want. It will be a healthy one, a vibrant one, a loving one. If you didn't come from a home like that, Spirit might just be teaching you how to protect and cultivate this type of home so you don't lose it. Otherwise, you're in the process of networking and getting to know people and places in your life that will lead you to this. So, and if you are in a family, Spirit is showing you how to be a leader, how to spiritually protect your family, how to cultivate loving vibes, and how to be a leader in your community. So I feel like this is very family oriented, but community related as well. What else, Spirit? I'm getting like a 1920s vibe. So you might have had a past life in the 20s. So there's like a refinement to you. You might actually remember some of these moments or have dreams about the 20s, or you might just like relate to that culture a lot or that era. Yeah, there's something about 1920s culture that maybe you're supposed to look up. I'm not sure. Okay. I think that's all I'm getting for you, pal, too. So your special genius is that you're a leader. You have this innate power in you that you're going to wield to network and make loving connections. So it's like you have a spiritual side of you that is very deep and wise and open. Like, you're analytical, but you're also very open and accepting. You will consider anything, but you don't make your opinions lightly. But then also you have this passion, creative fire side to you that's just very driven. You want to lead, you want to protect, you want to network, you want to create things, and you want to give back. So you might have a significant leadership role in your community in some way, and if you haven't stepped into that yet, you will. So yeah, that's a promise. Okay. That's what I have for you, pal, too. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending time on my channel. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And hit a like and subscribe. Thank you. I'll see you guys next time. All right, pal 3. if you chose Citrine Quartz, this is your pile. What is your special kind of genius? So what makes you unique? What makes you smart in your own way? What skills and attributes do you have and carry through life that makes you a special kind of genius? So let's look into this. I'm using 2 different tarot decks and 2 different oracles today. They're listed below. Dreamtime, Creation, and River. So, you might be a psychic. With Dreamtime here, I'm feeling like you might astral travel, you might manifest in your dreams. You have a very creative imagination, and it runs wild when you're sleeping because there's no logical filter on it. You might want to keep a dream journal of some kind because I feel like these can be very powerful. You probably have a gift of seeing in some way, either premonition kind of dreams or with just downloads. I feel like you're going to get spiritual downloads in your sleep. And it feels like they have to do with ascension, like how the world can evolve to a higher state of existence. So, okay. River. You might be a water sign or have water heavy in your chart, or you might relate to the element of water very heavily. You could live near a river or connect to rivers very strongly. You might have Native American in your heritage, or just like a fishing community or a water traveling culture. But water flows and water moves, right? And it's not fixed. It will form into any shape you put it into. And so this is part of your superpower, is that you're so adaptable. You can form to any situation, any lifestyle, any conditions. So this is definitely your special kind of genius, is how adaptable you are. You might have Scorpio in your chart as well. You might transform very easily. You could also have Gemini in your chart. You could have none of those things in your chart. This just might be your essence. So you're very adaptable, and that is a skill. Some people cannot adapt. Some people literally wear the same shirt every day, eat the same food, go to the same job, you know, like they're scared of change. You are not scared of change. With the Justice here, okay, you might have a past life in Egypt, or research something about the Nile River. I just feel like you have a connection to a river in a past life. You most definitely probably lived along a river or in some kind of culture that lived and worked with a river. I can't talk, with rivers, like a fishing culture or something like that. So you're an old soul and you have a deeper knowledge. It's like you have an innate knowledge of what's right and wrong, and you can't deter from this. So it's like you have a very strong sense of morality, and it's not a top morality. It's like an inner morality. Like, murder is wrong and that will never change. It will always feel wrong to you, kind of thing. Or like taking advantage of somebody who's weaker than you in any way is wrong. Like, you just have certain moral codes that you won't bypass, and you also set those boundaries for people in your life as well. People might feel like you silently judge them even though you don't. I feel it's more they judge themselves around you. So this is going to seem weird, but sometimes when you're an ethical person, just being an ethical person will make people feel guilty. So I feel like you don't even say anything to these people. It's more they feel guilty in your presence. They literally feel guilty just in your presence by how you act differently than them, or how you do things that they wouldn't do, or just stuff like that. So it's okay. This is your this is your superpower. You offend people, I feel like, without meaning to. Especially people from your past, people you grew up with. I feel like they see your glow up, they see your shine, they see you stepping into these powers, and I feel like some people are jealous. I feel like siblings might be jealous, or childhood friends, or older friends you don't talk to as much. I feel like you have a natural way with children. Children might be drawn to you. You might understand them, and vice versa. You have like a natural way of communicating with children. I think it's like the innocence that you embody. They're drawn to it because they feel safe around you. Yep, 10 of Pentacles. So you could be a parent, you could have children yourself, or a big family. But you just cultivate this energy of protection and security and making people feel loved, cared for, and looked out for. So a lot of these pals, like, your super strength is how you make people feel. So that's pretty cool. You have a calming presence. So you also might take care of people around you financially. I feel like this is more in like a shelter type of way. You make sure they get a meal, you make sure they get to school on time, you make sure they get home all right, you make sure whatever. So if someone comes to you with a problem, you notice, you check in, and you check back. It's like you're very attentive of other people. You're very protective of kids is what I'm seeing. The Fool. Yeah, you might work with youth. You might work with the disabled. I feel like you protect people that are vulnerable in any capacity. It could be the elderly, the disabled, children, something like that. So you have this childlike essence in yourself, and you have maybe seen darker things of where that can take you. And so you're very protective of people around you so that they are able to live out that innocence and not have it robbed from them. So you're a protector. You might get warning dreams. Changing gifts. So I feel like you spiritually protect people. You might not even tell them that you do this, but I feel like you look out for people spiritually, through prayer, through rituals, through, I feel like your energy is so strong that you just caring about somebody else like extends that protection to them. So you're always looking for ways to look out for others or to brighten their day. One of your love languages could be gift giving. You might enjoy sweet little notes. You might enjoy buying a certain little thing for someone that you know they wanted. Like, you like doing little things for people. So you're very attentive, I feel like, in small ways, flexible. You're also accommodating in relationships. You really don't like to argue. You really don't like confrontation. You're not a fighter. You're not a fighter naturally. So you're more of a fighter in defense of others and in a protective way. You really don't like confrontations, but you will handle them as they come. But your real desire is to have harmony around you and in relationships around you. So you will literally bend over backwards to make that happen before you walk away from somebody. So you're very loyal and committed kind of person. You might have a lot of Libra in your chart naturally. You just really want people to get along. You put effort into it. Deep knowing. I feel like you know that, like, the world just spins softer when we all get along. Things are just easier. It's abundant. Nobody has to lose. I feel like you just want to show this to everybody, that we are really at our highest ascension level when we work together. So you have those kind of like dreams of world peace, of harmony, of this earth ascending to a higher level that is more of a state of homeostasis and not such chaos. So you're trying to bring in a state of homeostasis energetically and spiritually, I feel like, with the Justice card. So you definitely wield protection, justice, and harmony wherever you go. So this is big Libra energy. Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords and Four of Swords. So you might be prone to burnout. You might try a little too hard. You might try to save everyone and everything, and you might need to slow down a little bit. You have to also take breaks. Don't forget to look out for yourself. I feel like sometimes you take on too much, or you try to help everyone, and it can lead to a little bit of burnout. So maybe this is just a warning for you, group 3. Don't forget to have that balance with yourself and your own energy and the people around you. Don't give. You have to take time to recharge. You have to take time to recharge your spirit, your body, your energy, everything. So make sure as you're giving to others, you're giving to yourself as well. And the more that you feel, the more that you're nurturing yourself and you feel good, the better your energy is that you're putting out. So it's a win-win. But that's what I'm seeing a lot here. Is there's a lot of Libra, Cancer energy here. It's very, and also Aquarius. It's very like unity driven, harmony driven, in a creative way. It's like you're trying to reimagine ways of society, of relationships, of boundaries, of rules, of how we can better work with each other, how we can better take care of the less unfortunate in our society, and be more of an honorable species. So you're very much about like the true law, like universal law, not any state or country or city laws. Like you go by God's law, you go by the universe's law. You have this deeper knowledge. I feel like it's tied to Egypt, and that's the internal law you go by. So this is lovely energy. All these energies have been actually really nice, you guys. But you're a fighter. You're a fighter for good causes. You definitely take care of people around you. So this might sound weird as like a genius, but this is what makes you unique. You see beyond the obvious. You see beyond society. You see beyond the current rules. You see beyond the current state of affairs. It's like you dream of better, and you push for better, and you're always wanting to cultivate better because you recognize that there's a lot of breakdown in what's currently happening in the world around us. And so you might be an activist, you might become one soon or get into politics actually, but you really have that justice heart where you can't just sit back and watch other things go down that you know are wrong. So that's awesome. That is your special gift. That's your special genius. Is you're a creative genius, and you're a fighter, and you're a giver, and you're a protector. So that's what I see for you, Pile 3. Let me know what you thought. Comment down below if you want to enter my October giveaway and for a free reading. And that's about it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I will be making more content, and thank you for watching, you guys. Oops, okay. All right, Pile 4, Howlite Tower. So Howlite is good for dealing with stress and anger, and also insomnia if you're having any trouble sleeping during quarantine and all the craziness that is 2020. I highly recommend it. Although this reading is timeless, I'm just mentioning that because I'm posting it right now. Okay, so what is your special genius, group 4? Let's get into it. Ooh, shaman and spring equinox. What? So you might have gone through a recent spiritual birth or spiritual rebirth. Could have been in the spring, or you might have one coming up soon. But I feel like this is past, like this happened, like I think your spirit leveled up in a different way. I feel like since around March to now, you might have tapped into some deeper realms in meditation and spoken with some spirit guides. You might have past life recall and remembered some things that you were taught or shown in a past life. You might be connecting really heavily to the earth and gardening and nature. But your special genius is connecting with the laws of the universe. So you might just be very drawn to Indian culture if you don't have any Native American in you. You might be drawn to the way they work with the earth and the way they work with Mother Nature and the way they honor that in their spiritual practice. So this is something you might be trying to learn even now if you're not directly related to that culture. So 3 of Wands, you have like, what's the word? Like a panned out view of life. Like you have a broad spectrum. You don't get lost in the details, or you don't like to fight over the details. You kind of see the world as a whole. You see society as a whole. You see problems in a panned out view because you like to look at all aspects and try to figure out the best solution. So you're a very objective problem solver. You don't just do the automatic, or the obvious answer, or take, you weigh out decisions in your life. Yeah, you like to look before you leap. So, I'm seeing this as like an alchemy. Like you like to weigh out maybe your powers of alchemy versus fate. It's like you're not quite sure. And so sometimes you might play with fate a little bit. You might manipulate with alchemy and manifestation. You're learning that dance with the universe and you're getting quite good at it. So you might be becoming very good at manifestation, or harnessing your own like spiritual power. Yeah, I've never got that off the 2 of Pentacles before, but I'm feeling that. It's like you're learning to work with the elements and your own energies. In a spiritual way. So you might be into the occult, you might be into prayer, you might be into law of attraction, you might be into a religion, something, but you're learning to work with your own natural spirituality, your own energy, and the earth. Yep. This might be something you're studying. You might actually be in a spiritual kind of school. You could be actually doing an internship. You might be learning about shamanism. You might be learning about Native American history. You might be like literally hands-on learning this from somebody if you are in that culture, or you might just be pouring into books and texts and whatever you can find. But part of your strength is your work ethic. So you have a very spiritual, adaptable side to you, but then when you put your mind to it, you're going to do it. So you spend time in the astral communicating with spirits and getting those spiritual downloads, but then you take time to plan it out and you put it into action. So you might be a spiritual teacher of some sort, or you might be stepping into this role sometime in this lifetime. If you don't see yourself in this way, people look to you this way. It's just something you maybe haven't cultivated yet, or maybe you're still in the process of cultivating. 10 of Cups. So this could be like a family tradition, or these could go back. Like, I feel like this could be like an ancestral pattern that you may or may not know about, but I feel like a lot of this wisdom comes from your bloodline. And it could go back generations that you don't know about. So, Nine of Swords. Part of you might be worried that you're too weird for a normal life. Like, no one would want to settle down with you. No one would understand these things, or the lifestyle that you lead, but that is just in your head, I'm seeing. So, don't get caught up in that. It's like, hold on. Some of this might be negative thoughts around you. So I feel like some of your gifting is going to be helping people in their families and relationships. And so part of your training is having that attacked. So you might be having some difficulties in love right now, or your family life in some way. And you need to learn to set those boundaries. So I feel like these are outside attacks with the Page of Swords. Could be evil eye, could be jealous people that see your gifts and are trying to knock you down a little bit. So be wary of that. It could just be some haterade energy that you need to overcome. But that's part of the shamanic journey, is encountering different energies and then learning how to maneuver with them, learning how to transmute them, learning how to overcome them, learning how to battle them sometimes. So this is something you're really cultivating, and Spirit is walking you through. You might feel a little out of element right now or a little overwhelmed, but Spirit is really trying to teach you this. And I feel like it's reteaching you. Like, this is something you've done and were very good at in a past life. And so it's like you're relearning it. Maybe you're questioning that. Maybe your family isn't supportive of this, or your community isn't supportive. Maybe it's outside your upbringing or culture or religion or something. I feel like a lack of support, which is also part of the shamanic journey, isolation. So don't fear isolation. That is part of the process. So clean it up, blessed, building blocks. That's like basically what I just said. So Spirit is going through your life with you, maybe removing people that are unsupportive, removing negative patterns in your life or past life trauma. It could even be generational curses. I feel like you're going through a refining process with Spirit right now, and they're really trying to strengthen you, give you the building blocks you're going to need to go forward and take out some of the things that have been hindering you. Part of that is just reminding you that you're taken care of, you're blessed. Definitely with the Ten of Cups and the Shaman here, you are blessed. You're just maybe in the beginning stages of this, or you're still in the process of being built. So you might have a very significant calling. You might be sooner on in your spiritual journey, something of that sort. So this just could be a building phase. I feel like a lot of healers go through phases of just like working out, breaking down your muscles and building them back up stronger. You have to do the same thing spiritually as you go through levels. So, and I don't mean levels like of ascension or levels of like towards heaven or some bullshit. I mean like levels of like mastery. Okay, you've passed this level, you can handle this energy. Now we're going to bring on some bigger energies. Can you handle those? And so it's like going into darker spaces, farther reaches and bigger realms and whatever. So you have to be equipped for that. So I feel like you're going through a spiritual equipment phase. And part of your calling is to teach others to do this same thing. So I feel like once you get to the point where you feel mastered, you're going to be more of a teacher. But right now I feel like you're going through a phase currently where you're kind of removing things that have been hindering you, and you're trying to strengthen your skills. So be really careful with who you surround yourself with right now, and make sure it's people you know that have your back. Yeah. And also I would set an energetic veil over yourself as protection, because you might have some prying eyes. Part of your special genius is your communication. You're going to be able to communicate your wisdom as it downloads to you, but your tongue isn't always going to be well received. So when you speak the truth, you get a lot of hate sometimes, and so you will naturally attract some haters that will come for you. So you need to protect yourself, because it's going to be a blessing and a curse. This is definitely part of your power, but not everyone's going to appreciate it. They're not going to be in the energy to be receptive to it. So you might get backlash from people, so expect that, and always be sure to take like protection precautions when you do anything spiritual, whether that's manifesting, tarot reading, prayer, astral travel, anything like that. Like anything you attempt to do with a spiritual goal, I would have some kind of protection over yourself, some kind of oil, some kind of crystal, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Pal 4. This is really awesome. This is mystical energy. So your special kind of genius is your unending drive. You do not give up, and your spiritual attunement. Like, you have a very, very tapped in energy, and this is something you're cultivating, I see, but it might make you feel a little left out. It might make you feel a little attacked at times, and that is just the journey of a shaman. You have to be a little set apart. You have to be careful with your boundaries and your energy, because not everyone's going to take it well, and some people will just come to disrupt it. So yeah, I'm not saying you're going to have to live an isolated life. You're going to just have to have some stronger gates. I don't know how to say that. Like, I feel like your inner circle is going to be smaller, or just more solid. Okay. Pal 4, comment down below. Let me know what you thought. I love to hear your guys' thoughts. I always respond. Any comments, if you're a subscriber, enter you for my monthly giveaway. So it enter you for October. Those are free readings. They're about 15 minutes long, and I will announce them in videos. I announced 3 winners at the beginning of this video, so go check that out if you skipped ahead and didn't watch the intro. And yeah, and subscribe if you like my content, and I will keep making more. Thank you guys for watching. Bye. Okay, last and final pile. Moving on to pile 5. So if you chose the Ocean Jasper, which is a stone for joy. It's a stone for expressing joy, and it comes from Madagascar. That's what that one's about, so that might be why you're drawn to it. So pile 5, what is your special kind of genius? What makes you different? Not book smart, not street smart. Like, what about you makes you a genius? What makes you really different and powerful and essential to this world? So let's find out. Rainbow blessings and wind activations. You could be air sign or have air in your chart. You don't have to, but with joy and rainbow, I'm not surprised. You're definitely a joyful person and a joy bringer. If you don't see yourself as like bubbly, you might just be one of those sarcastically warm people. I don't know if you know what I mean. Like, sometimes I really enjoy just those really raw, open, sarcastic people. Like, I feel more just at home around them sometimes than bubbly people. So it might not be like traditionally bubbly. Can you see my nail now? Ugh, it's so bad. Anyway, it might not be traditionally bubbly. It could be more of just like a pleasant presence. Like, you give people hope. Maybe you're just very relatable and calm. But I feel like you take people by surprise. They don't really anticipate you, and then you kind of ruffle their feathers, but in a good way. Like, you make people think, you make people second guess, you make people take a second look at themselves. So you definitely might have air in your chart. You might have an air Mercury, because I feel like you're a great communicator. You make people think on their toes. Mending and yin. Okay. So you might have a calling in helping people in relationships, especially helping heal the feminine energy in this lifetime. So I believe the world's had a little bit too much masculine energy, and we've been too imbalanced, and that's why there's too much aggression and war and killing and fighting masculine traits. I feel like we need more yin and soft energies of compassion, of understanding, and that kind of thing. So I feel like you might be at the forefront of ushering in healthier feminine energies. This might be one of your superpowers. What is on my cards? I don't even know. Stuff from candles. Okay, so I feel like you're gonna help heal feminine relationships. You might help people with their relationship with their mother or a feminine figure in their life. You might help people relate to other women that are struggling with that. You might help men relate to women that are struggling with that. You might help transgender people and transsexual people transition and feel confident in that. Like, there's some kind of like energy healing related around the divine feminine that you're going to be hands-on in. TikTok, I feel like this will come in time. This might not be something you're doing yet, but this is something in your lifetime that you're meant to do. This is also the universe reminding us it's time. So it's time for this to happen. It's like, it's the age of Aquarius. Astrologically, it's time. So the universe is helping usher in light workers that are going to help with this. So 8 of Swords, the Lovers, 8 of Cups. So you could help people through difficult love relationships, and you might also help women through divorces, people through separations, people through breakups, and difficult relationships. You might help people come out of toxic twin flame relationships, soulmate relationships, or marriages. I'm seeing this as like you might counsel women that are thinking of leaving their partner and help them decide if it's healthy for them to stay or if it's healthy for them to leave. I feel like you kind of act as a mediator in that sense, or you're going to in time. Yeah, it's like you're very good at pinpointing if it's something toxic within that person's head that they're projecting onto their relationship, or if the relationship itself is toxic and they need to get out. So you might be very skilled in psychology or counseling or something that of the sort, something like that, to where you just understand. So you have a very objective eye to look from the outside in at people to understand where the root of the problem is. Is the root of the problem something toxic in their emotions, something in their childhood, or is the root of the problem really in the relationship itself and the dynamic itself? So you might have gone through a divorce yourself. You might have gone through really bad relationships. I feel like a lot of this was learned actively, and so you're going to be able to help people overcome this as well. So I feel like helping people reclaim their joy, after being left behind, helping people through breakups that are really bad. I feel like a lot of counseling energy, and if this isn't like actual real counseling, it's just like you end up being that kind of counseling presence to people. So you might mentor people, you might be a tarot card reader, you could be a volunteer, you could be in HR, you could be in politics, you could be in a lot of motivational speaking, you could be a teacher. There's some kind of setting you actively participate in where you end up counseling and mentoring women mostly around you, and sometimes men too. Just people. You're I can't say it. You're counseling people with yin energy. So you're helping them heal their connection to the feminine. So their connections with their mothers or lack thereof, or their connection with other women or lack thereof, or their connections to their own feminine traits or lack thereof. You help people accept these things inside themselves, recognize things inside themselves and others. So you're helping build and repair the yin energy is one of your big missions. This pick a card is not supposed to be like a life mission, but it's kind of coming out that way. Like, this is your special genius, but it's kind of coming out on a very specific mission. So you guys might have a stronger calling than, not stronger calling than some of the other groups. This is just coming out very strong. Okay, Page of Cups, the Sun, and the Four of Swords. So again, this is very healing of childhood wounds, helping people rest from heartache, helping people take the swords out of their own back, the swords out of their own mind, and harness their own joy. It's like you're going to teach people to overcome all this with joy. I think people get so heartbroken. So I feel like sometimes they get in a cycle of like wanting to be heartbroken, like listening to sad songs, reminiscing over every little thing. It's like you keep reliving it over and over. It's like your brain expects to be hurt, or almost lavishes in the pain a little bit, because I don't know, maybe just it feels good for a little bit, or it feels good to be dramatic, or it feels, I don't know. Some people just get used to pain in a weird way, and I feel like your big calling is showing them that they don't have to hold on to this. Like showing them that they can TikTok, like you can let go of this. You can let go of the past. You can shut that door. There's a lot of healing energy here. Your special genius was transmuting your own pain into a blessing, and you healed yourself. So your special genius is helping helping others do the same, specifically women, or specifically just the yin energy. So anyone that struggles with that feminine energy. So this could be masculines that are over masculine and toxic. This could be women that don't resonate with their feminine side, or are having trouble connecting to their children or other women. This could be transsexuals, transgender, anything in between that is not resonating with feminine energy. So we all have like a spectrum of masculine energy within us, right? We all embody all aspects of God within us, but I should say all traits of God. But there can be imbalances where you get too far to one side of the spectrum, and it becomes unhealthy, and it's like you tear your own soul down in a way that you don't accept those parts of you that are softer. So your special kind of genius was maybe healing that energy in yourself, and now you're going to help other people do the same. So this is a huge calling in this day and age. I've felt this a lot on the collective, so I feel like that's why Spirit is wanting to highlight that right now, that don't underestimate this. I don't care what your job is. I don't care what your IQ level is. I don't care how well you know English. I don't care what country you live. I don't, like any stupid qualifications or whatever, or any avenue. I don't care how much money you make, where you live, what culture you're in, what society you're in, what you do. You could just bake bread at a farmer's market. I don't know. You could be homeless, but this what I'm trying to get at is Spirit is trying to say don't underestimate yourself. Like you might even have like what you see as like a small role in your life or society. Like you don't feel like you make that much of an impact, or you don't feel like you can, or you may second guess yourself because you don't have a degree, or you struggle to fit in some way in the society you're in or something. But the universe is trying to say ignore all that. That doesn't matter. Like your genius is your joy. So you have a way of transmuting energy and harnessing that joy, and you've learned it, and you're going to teach this to others. You're going to help other people in this, and ultimately you're just a light. You spread joy wherever you go, and it mirrors to people that there's hope. It mirrors to people that they can change. It mirrors to people that they can turn the hands of time and let things die in the past, that they can overcome them. So this is crazy good energy. This was really cool to end out the reading on Pile 5. You're just a joy bearer. You give people hope. Like rainbows are a sign of hope, right? And a promise. So it's like that is your genius, is like giving people hope and knowing how to like dig into someone's soul and find that little nugget of hope and grow. It's like you grow that little nugget of hope in them that might be very buried and very dark and be almost out. So this is really powerful energy. This is really beautiful energy. Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. Let me know what you guys thought down below. Comment your thoughts, subscribe if you want to see more, and yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for spending time on my channel. I really hope you got something out of this. This was beautiful energy, Pile 5, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.